Today, we gather to reflect on a story that transcends time and teaches us profound lessons about the nature of good and evil. The narrative of Lucifer, the bearer of light, is more than a tale of fall. It is a warning about the dangers of pride and rebellion. As chosen ones of God, it is essential that we understand this story, for understanding evil is crucial so that we can do good. From the dawn of creation, Lucifer was endowed with beauty, wisdom, and power. He held a prominent position in heaven, leading the heavenly choirs in praise of the Creator. However, his story shows us that even the most perfect beings can be seduced by the seed of pride. This seed, which began as a subtle thought, grew and transformed into a rebellion that challenged the very divine order. As we explore Lucifer's journey, we must remember that his fall was not an isolated event, but a process that began with doubt and disobedience. This story teaches us that evil can infiltrate our hearts in unexpected ways, and that we need to be vigilant. As chosen ones, we are called to discern between light and darkness, truth and lies. Before we continue, I invite all of you to like and follow our channel. By doing so, you not only support our work, but also become part of a community that seeks to understand and live the truth. Together, we can deepen our knowledge and strengthen our faith. Let us then move forward, ready to learn and grow as we explore the story of Lucifer and the lessons it brings us. May God guide us on our journey. Since the beginning, even before the first grain of sand was formed on earth, there existed a celestial order where peace, perfection, and infinite goodness reigned. In this setting of light and harmony, God, the creator of all, decided to manifest the beauty of his glory through celestial beings known as angels. Among all the angels created, one was special. His name was Lucifer, which means bearer of light, or morning star. He was not just another angel. He was the brightest, the most beautiful, and the wisest of all. Lucifer was the seal of perfection, full of wisdom and perfect in beauty. His light was so radiant that it overshadowed the other angels. He was not only beautiful, but also led the heavenly choirs, being responsible for organizing the praises to God. Lucifer was created as an anointed cherub. He walked among the stones of fire and had access to God's holy mountain. In other words, he was very close to the divine throne. His position was of great prominence, as his role was not just that of an ordinary angel, but of a leader in heaven. He was above many angels in authority and prestige. God, in his infinite wisdom and love, granted Lucifer freedom and power. He possessed free will, just like all the angels. This gift was a demonstration of divine trust and love. However, it was precisely this gift that would become the catalyst for his fall. For a long time, Lucifer performed his duties perfectly. He led the angels masterfully, and all admired his beauty, intelligence, and authority. But something began to change within him. A small seed was planted in his heart, the seed of pride. Why should I, who am the most beautiful and the most powerful, not have more glory? Why must I serve someone, even if that someone is God? These thoughts gained strength in Lucifer's heart. The perfection he saw in himself blinded him. He no longer wanted to be the leader of the choirs. He wanted to be worshipped. He wanted a throne above the stars of God. This did not happen abruptly. It was a slow but constant process, like a small flame that gradually transforms into an uncontrollable fire. Lucifer's previously isolated thoughts began to transform into words. He started sharing his ideas with other angels, questioning the divine order. God gave us free will, so why must we obey him? We are beings of light, perfect and grand, shouldn't we also govern? With his natural charisma, Lucifer began to attract followers. He spoke with authority. His words made sense and were logical, and for many angels, they resonated. Why submit? Why not conquer your own throne? Doubt began to spread, and many angels started to see him not as a leader but as a liberator. A third of the angels joined him. They were powerful, beautiful, and strong angels. They believed that with Lucifer in command, they would no longer need to submit to God. They would be free to govern and exercise their own authority. The great turning point in the story occurred when God revealed to the angels a special plan. He would create a new world, the material world. In this world, God would make man and woman in his image and likeness. Even more astonishing, God said that he himself, the Creator, would incarnate as a human in the person of Jesus Christ to save humanity. For many angels, this was a wonderful and exciting revelation. But for Lucifer, it was the last straw. Worship a form of flesh and bone? Worship a God who will become human? Lucifer's pride burned like a furnace. He would not bow down before an inferior creation. If he once desired only a throne, now he desired much more. He wanted to be the supreme king. It was then that heaven turned into a battlefield. On one side, Lucifer and his rebellious angels. On the other, Michael and the angels loyal to God. The battle was not silent. It was a war of light and darkness, a clash of flaming swords. The stars trembled, and the sky, which had once been a place of peace, became a battlefield. Lucifer, with his inflated pride, charged with fury, but Michael, with humility and courage, raised his sword and shouted, "Who is like God?" The power of God was with Michael. Although the loyal angels were fewer in number, they had the strength of the Creator by their side. With a decisive blow, Michael defeated Lucifer, and all the rebellious angels were cast out of heaven. "I saw Satan fall from heaven like lightning." Luke 10:18. When Lucifer fell, the light he possessed was overshadowed by darkness. He lost the title of Morning Star and became Satan, the adversary. Along with him fell a third of the angels, who were now called demons. They were cast into an abyss of darkness, a place separated from divine light. Heaven, even in victory, was forever marked. The angels who remained faithful would never forget their brother's betrayal. God, in his wisdom, allowed free will to take its course. Now, in the abyss, Lucifer looked at the world that God had created. He did not accept his defeat. His desire to dethrone God remained. If he could not defeat God, he would destroy his creation. He began his mission in the Garden of Eden. Taking the form of a serpent, he approached Eve and said, "Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden?" With this question, he planted doubt, and with the promise of being like God, he led Adam and Eve to disobey the Creator. The same pride that had led Lucifer to his fall now led humans to sin. The last chapter of Lucifer is described in Revelation. He is presented as the great dragon, the ancient serpent, the accuser of our brothers. His mission to corrupt humanity will intensify in the last days. Revelation shows that he will unite with the beast and the false prophet to try to control the world. But just as in the beginning, Michael will rise again. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. And the dragon and his angels fought, but they did not prevail. Revelation 12:7-8. After the Great Tribulation, Satan will be captured and thrown into the lake of fire and sulfur, where he will be destroyed forever. His final defeat symbolizes the ultimate triumph of good over evil. God's justice prevails, and the divine plan is fulfilled. Now that we know the story of Lucifer, it is necessary to understand evil in order to do good. After all, the narrative of his fall is not just an account of disobedience, but a profound lesson about the nature of evil and its subtleties. Lucifer, the bearer of light, began his journey as a perfect being, close to God, but his quest for power and recognition led him to a rebellion that resulted in his fall. This story teaches us that evil does not always present itself explicitly. Often, it disguises itself in seductive promises of power, freedom, and pleasure. For the chosen ones, understanding evil is essential to fulfilling their mission. It is not about accepting or surrendering to evil, but recognizing it in its various forms so that they can resist and combat it. Just as a warrior studies the strategies of his enemy before battle, the chosen ones need to know the tactics of evil to avoid being deceived. The mistake of many is to believe that evil manifests only in acts of violence or disasters. In fact, it often infiltrates our lives in subtle ways, starting with small thoughts and desires that, if not controlled, can grow and transform into destructive actions. The story of Lucifer shows us that evil begins within each of us. Pride, envy, greed, and the desire for control are some of the doors through which evil can enter. Just as Lucifer fell because of his desire to be worshipped, the chosen ones need to guard their own hearts. The true battle against evil is not only external but internal. It is a call for each chosen one to examine their motivations and desires, recognizing that evil can manifest in their own lives in ways that are often not evident. Understanding evil is, therefore, an exercise in self-knowledge. It is an invitation to look within ourselves and evaluate our actions and intentions. The chosen ones are called to a journey of reflection and humility, where they must confront their weaknesses and limitations. This journey is not easy, as we often face internal resistance that prevents us from seeing the truth about ourselves. Pride can blind us, making us believe that we are above certain flaws or that we are immune to the temptations that led others to fall. Furthermore, the chosen ones must be aware that evil can disguise itself as good intentions. The desire to help others, for example, can turn into a desire for control, where the person feels superior for being in a position to help. This dynamic can create a cycle of dependency and manipulation, where the helper becomes an agent of evil, even without realizing it. Therefore, it is vital that the chosen ones develop a keen discernment to identify these subtleties. Before conquering the world, the chosen one must conquer themselves. This statement encapsulates the essence of the mission of the chosen ones. Before they launch into the fight against evil in the world, they must first face their own internal battles. This struggle is often the hardest, as it involves confronting uncomfortable truths about themselves and making significant changes in their lives. The chosen ones are called to be examples of integrity and authenticity. They must live according to the principles they advocate, showing that true strength comes from humility and the willingness to learn and grow. This journey of self-knowledge and resistance to evil is not only for personal benefit, but also so that they can guide and inspire others on their own journeys. The call of the chosen ones is an invitation to understand evil in its multiple forms and manifestations. This understanding is fundamental for them to fulfill their mission effectively. By recognizing that evil begins within us, the chosen ones can prepare to resist it, and thus become agents of change and light in a world that often finds itself in darkness. True victory is not only over the evil that exists outside of us, but over the evil that can dwell in our own hearts. Therefore, may each chosen one commit to this journey of self-knowledge and vigilance, so that they can fulfill their mission with courage and determination. Evil does not act openly. It hides in subtle thoughts, small concessions, and desires disguised as good intentions. This is a truth that the chosen ones need to keep in mind. Evil manifests in the desire to be more important, in the need to control others, or in the desire to be recognized. This dynamic is what led Lucifer to his fall, and unfortunately, it is the same that leads many to stray from the right path today. For the chosen ones, the first battlefield is the mind. It is in this internal space that thoughts form and intentions develop. Every thought of envy, resentment, and desire for revenge needs to be identified and neutralized before it becomes an action. This is why many chosen ones face such intense internal battles. The struggle against evil begins within us, and it is essential that each chosen one learns to recognize and confront their own impulses. These impulses can manifest in various ways. Sometimes it may seem that we are merely seeking what is just, but upon closer examination, we may discover that there is a hidden desire for control or superiority behind our actions. The desire to be recognized for our deeds, for example, can lead us to act in ways that do not reflect true humility. It is here that discernment becomes an essential tool. The chosen ones must be able to distinguish between pure motivation and selfish desires that may disguise themselves as good intentions. In the external world, evil manifests in systems of power, lies disguised as convenient truths, and ideologies that promise freedom, but in reality, imprison. Society often presents us with narratives that seem good at first glance, but when analyzed reveal a subtext of manipulation and control. The chosen ones cannot be naive. They need to question, observe, and discern. It is vital that they develop a critical view of the world around them, recognizing that not everything that glitters is gold. The chosen ones are called to be wise as serpents and innocent as doves. This phrase encapsulates the need for wisdom and discernment in a world filled with deceptions. Prudence allows us to perceive the traps that evil places in our path, while simplicity reminds us of the purity of our intentions. This combination is powerful and essential for those who wish to live according to their mission. To fulfill this mission, the chosen need to have courage. Speaking the truth, especially in times of deception and confusion, can be a difficult task. Often the truth is uncomfortable and can cause discomfort in relationships. However, the chosen cannot conform to error or deception. They are called to be voices of integrity and authenticity, even when it means going against the tide. In work, family, and friendships, they must strive to illuminate others, guiding them toward the truth. The light that the chosen emit is not their own light, but a light that comes from God. Unlike Lucifer, who sought to be worshipped and recognized, the true chosen do not seek applause or recognition. They act with humility, knowing that their mission is greater than themselves. This humility is essential, as it allows the chosen to remain focused on their mission, without being swayed by selfish desires or the need for external validation. The chosen also face invisible enemies. Evil, which once resided only in the heart of Lucifer, now operates through thoughts, systems of power, and spiritual forces. These enemies can manifest in various ways, from manipulation and misinformation to oppression and injustice. It is crucial that the chosen are aware of these forces and prepare to confront them. However, they are not alone in this struggle. Each chosen one has a spiritual armor that protects and strengthens them: faith, truth, justice, and the divine word. Faith is the foundation of this armor. It provides the strength needed to face challenges and adversities. When the chosen trust in God and His word, they become more resilient in the face of difficulties. Truth, is another fundamental piece of this armor. Knowing the truth and living according to it is what enables the chosen to discern between good and evil, helping them guide others on their journey. Justice also plays a crucial role in the mission of the chosen. They are called to fight against injustice and oppression, advocating for those who have no voice. This struggle can be difficult and often lonely. The chosen may face rejection, criticism, and even persecution for standing up for the truth. However, this resistance is an integral part of their mission. They must remember that even if their actions are not recognized or valued by others, they have a profound impact on the lives of those around them. The impactful phrase that resonates here is, "Be light in the midst of darkness, even if it makes you shine alone." This statement encapsulates the essence of the mission of the chosen. Being light in a world of darkness means being willing to stand out, to be different, and not to be afraid of being seen. Often this may mean being at odds with the majority, but the chosen must remember that their light is needed. Every act of kindness, every word of truth, and every gesture of love contributes to illuminating the path for others. The impactful phrase that resonates here is, "The true chosen do not seek to be exalted. They seek to elevate others." This statement encapsulates the essence of the mission of the chosen. They are not in search of fame or power, but rather to help others find their own way. This humility is a fundamental characteristic of the true chosen, as they recognize that their strength and light come from God, not from themselves. The story of Lucifer is an eternal lesson about the danger of pride and rebellion. He was created perfect, but chose the path of disobedience. His fall teaches us that power and glory do not belong to us, but to God. Lucifer lost heaven because of pride, but the angels who remained faithful found true glory alongside God. This narrative reminds us that true strength lies not in position or splendor, but in obedience and loyalty to the Creator. Every day, the battle between good and evil continues in the hearts of men. This struggle is not just an external battle, but an internal war that each of us must face. The message is clear. Who is like God? The answer remains the same. No one. God is sovereign. He is the light that never goes out. This light is what the chosen must seek and reflect in their lives. The chosen are called to be beacons of hope in a world that often seems dark. They must remember that even when facing difficulties, their mission is greater than themselves. Every act of kindness, every word of truth, and every gesture of love are steps toward the final victory. This victory is not just about defeating evil, but about bringing light and hope to those who are lost. Therefore, as we reflect on the mission of the chosen and the victory they seek, it is important to remember that this journey is collective. Each of us has a role to play in the fight against evil and in promoting good. By uniting in our pursuit of truth and justice, we can create a significant impact in the world around us. Now, I invite you to comment on this reflection. How do you see the struggle between good and evil in your own life? What challenges do you face, and how can you become a chosen one who illuminates the path for others?